Hey guys, I'm ComicManJake, and usually we're talking about the news, comic news and whatnot, and maybe a writer review, but I'm kind of changing it up a little bit. I'm just going to start talking here. So, I'll talk a little bit about comic news and how I'm feeling about it. So, from what I heard, Grant Morrison will be writing the new Green Lantern. Now, for most of you that don't know, I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. I have all of Jeff Johns' omnibuses. I have all, up for the trades, I have all of Robert Venditti's run. And from what I've seen on Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns, I am very much a fan of. And with Grant Morrison, I really am at a mix right now. I don't know if I'm gonna be, he's a good writer. Like, he's one of my top 5. The people would be Jeff Johns, and then Robert Venditti, Tom King, and then it'd be Jason Aaron, and then Grant Morrison would be number 5. 6 would be Sean Murphy. 7 would be Brian Michael Bendis. 8 would be let me think. That would be Cullen Bunn would be 8. Now, honestly, like I said, I'm at a throw up, a standstill. I don't really know. I mean, I'm kind of excited, because Grant Morrison is known to write some good stuff, but he's also known to be out there. Now, if he writes anything like he wrote Action Comics, I'm excited, because Action Comics, when he did his Action Comics run in the New 52, that was actually pretty good. If you guys don't know, I did a review on Grant Morrison's Action Comics New 52. Links up here, or somewhere around here. There'll be a little link that you can go and see it. It's one of my first vids that I actually did. And it was it was a good run. I mean, I've known Grant Morrison to be more out there. Like I said, Final Crisis kind of was like a puzzle in itself. But I've read a lot of other stuff. His Batman run was pretty good. There were sometimes it was confusing, but his Batman run, he would come back to it. But Green Lantern, I mean, you could do a lot with it, and it's kind of like, okay, I want to know who he's going to focus on. A lot of people are saying he's going to focus on his Kyle Rayner, which is on his JLA run that he did, which established really more of the Justice League. If he does Kyle Rayner, I mean, they kind of had one where he did focus on one. I think it was called it was a New 52 run. The New Guardians or something like that. Green Lantern and the New Guardians or something like that. Where Kyle became the White Lantern. And I guess it could be good. I don't know. I really don't know. And so I'll go into another one. I know I haven't been doing a lot of Marvel. You guys are probably asking a lot more, like, why aren't you doing any Marvel? The last one you did was Logan. Well, the problem with Marvel right now is a lot of the time their comics right now, ever since they got bought up by Disney, they've turned into a lot of cash grab, meaning a movie's coming out, so they gotta write a comic book to boost the movie. Point being, Infinity War. Infinity War was written back in the Infinity series, like Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, all that thing was written in 1992, and it was an amazing series that that ran for a long time, and it is only now that they have decided to write a new one featuring all the new characters. And as soon as I saw, and even at C2E2 they were announcing it, as soon as I saw they were making an Infinity War comic book, I was kind of like, you kidding me? Because they did the same thing with Civil War. Civil War was originally written by Mark Miller. It was it was Captain America versus Iron Man. A lot of differences because right now they didn't have a lot of movie rights. We'll get more into that in comics and movies. That's one of the ones I will be doing. Right, and that one was written around in the 2000s. But when Captain America Civil War came out, they decided to do Civil War 2. Now, Civil War 2 has nothing, I mean nothing, to compare to the movie. I mean, you read that, if you're like, oh, Civil War 2, and you read that, and you're like, this is nothing, it's nothing. Cap isn't even on the same, Cap is on the same team as Iron Man. It's Cap and Iron Man versus Captain Marvel. And it's like, it was an interesting concept. I mean, and it's written by one of my favorites, again, Brian Michael Bendis. But it kind of felt like a cash grab. Kind of felt like, we got a movie coming out, we got to get something that people are going to buy the comic with. And it's just like, they could have just, rerun Civil War, but no. And now they kind of started over with Venom. And I haven't read the new one, but from what I'm hearing, it's sounding like a lot of people are complaining. Because they just rebooted 6 months ago. And because this Venom movie's coming out, people are like, it's sounding like they're trying to make it more about the Venom movie. Yeah, I got a problem with that. As much for most of you guys that know, also, I have seen Infinity War. I'm not going to talk about it yet because we are planning on doing a little live, not a live stream, but a kind of a little podcast. If you guys have seen the weekly poll where it's a channel where all my favorite comic book guys that it kind of inspired me to do what I'm doing now, Comics Historian, Comics Explained, Comic Pop, and Cape Joel, they usually get together and they talk about comic news. It's bi-weekly. And they just get and talk. And I'm kind of, what my idea on this one is going to be more about, it's my best friend Tucker Marks, my friend David Viewick, you guys know him, he did the C2E2 one, he's a vlogger on YouTube. He's not that well known, but we're hoping that he gets the views and everything. And then another friend of mine, Dylan Streb. Now, we're just going to try it out, but I mean, we have all seen Infinity War, and this one, warning, will be about spoilers. We will be spoiling things because we will be theorizing what we think is going to happen. Now, most of the guys know a lot about the comics. Me and Tucker know more about the comics. Dylan and David don't. David knows more about the movies. Dylan knows a little bit more of the movies. He's known nothing about the comics. David knows a little bit on the comics. But we're going to kind of it's going to be an interesting aspect. It's going to be more of seeing, the two guys that know the comics the most, one guy that knows the movies the most, and one guy that knows just movies but just nothing else. And it's kind of going to be interesting to see, what is going to happen, what we're going to theorize. So that will be coming out next week, Friday. It will be featured on my channel, and it will be featured also on David Viewick's channel, which I will put a link in this description up below. Also at the end of the video, if you wish to check out his videos, I'll put up the one where he puts the C2E2 one. I always love that one. That's my favorite one. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, I think this is going to be a thing on Friday. I'm going to start ranting. Just ranting on what I feel on the comic industry, how I feel about it, what comics I'm excited for, what comics I'm not, how I feel about the different industries, and yeah. So if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up. Always helps me knowing the content and all that. And hit that subscribe button and that little bell. That little bell will notify you every time I make a video and it comes uploading. I'm ComicManJake. Peace out.